So I'm also recording for my regular videos. Uh, this is probably gonna be a quick recording. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that I'm playing chess and it's been like 4 months since I started playing, so it's pretty new. And that I've started to play matches, it's even like play with consistency. 650 games, that's a lot of time. So I've started just like February, something like that. So I'm really starting, and then I get worried about like being a noob for the rest of my life or not improving at all, and that's just not the case. I mean, I had to I had to wait longer to know if that's gonna happen, and then I can see what can I do. I mean, I was really fortunate to find the Building Habits series, because if I hadn't found, I guess I would, seriously, I think I wouldn't even be 600, because there's so many things to think that you don't focus on the fundamentals. So you end up losing because you don't have a strong foundation. Hold on, well, for this part, just gonna speak here because I think it's useful. It's useful what I'm speaking here, because I say a lot of here. And another thing that I noticed is that in Portuguese I have this I always say ai ai ai. But I was having a chess session and I thought that and I was streaming for myself to see in the future and just have this archive. And then I thought that would be interesting to record with probability that I actually listen, because those streams that I do, they're gonna get lost. Like, what are the odds? Because they're long, and it's just something that I do for fun. But anyway, my point is just that eventually I'll get used to all the positions. They're gonna repeat themselves. I'm gonna lose some of them, and I will be able to defend them, which is really cool. It's just that I'm still getting used to, and there are some positions that I don't really have experience with. So my goal, I think that a reasonable goal is to reach 1,000 by the end of the year. I'm not sure whether it's on Rapid or Blitz. But it doesn't matter. And it's just a stupid, I don't really have to worry about that. And it's good to check my progress and see if I'm I'm making progress or not, and I am. Even in Blitz, I'm making progress. Like, and it's up and down sort of thing, but then there's a homeostasis of my rating. And I really like the fact that I'm actually playing matches, because before I found the Building Habits series, I was just playing very inconsistently. Like here, I was like stuck for like 2 months, or yeah, a lot of time. And I had this huge growth that was one of the best days of this year. Because I did really well on an exam in college, and I also found the Building Habits series. So, and then I had this huge growth. Like I got 100 plus ELO. So I have to put things into perspective. Otherwise, I'm making progress. It's noticeable. It's really, really noticeable. I do end up losing, but it's just a matter of time. That's the point. It's just a freaking matter of time to really start nailing. And I wasn't playing matches. Like, I started to play matches for real 2 months ago. So I still have a lot to learn, and the important thing is that I'm having fun. That's what I aim for, is to have fun, and then I'll gradually improve, and then I will start learning other stuff and making sure that I don't overwhelm myself. That's something that the Building Habits series definitely helped me. It's just really awesome, like how he helped to simplify all the things that I'm doing in chess. Not focus on openings, not focus on fianquero, not focus on advanced tactics, which are cool, but it's so unrealistic that I'll be able to play them. Like, sometimes I even miss some basic tactics. How am I supposed to find the advanced ones? And it is important to play the puzzles. I think that I should definitely do them, and all of them. Like, there's each type of practice helps in a different way. For instance, the rapid game is useful when you want to think a bit more. The blitz is sort of the standard, in which you're just you do have some time to think, but you don't have a lot of time to think. Bullet is just instinctive and try to not blunder stuff. And sometimes it's just the speed competition. it's 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 um it's rare to actually deliver a checkmate on bullet. For instance, let's see if I have ever anyway, I'm not gonna see that right now. I was wondering if I have ever won by checkmate on bullet. Like, let's see. Just. Oh. Match tie? No. Where is it? I can't see. Bullet? It's stupid. Ah, fuck. Anyway. It's really important to put things into perspective. What I'm speaking right now sort of reminds me of when I just started to go to therapy, and I said to my therapist, "Oh, but I don't want this to be something that I get dependent on." And man, it's just, for Christ's sakes, it's really pathetic to think about that. Because I had just started and I was worried something that might be a problem. Definitely, some people get stuck and don't make progress, or they get dependent on their therapist. But it's just something that I just started, so it's just like with chess. Alright, there are some people who, and it's different because I do want to learn. Some people are just playing mindlessly, and I don't want that. Well, just to finish with how each practice helps in a different aspect. So you have these ones that are actually matches. With bots, I'm not really sure. I don't think they're useful, to be honest. I don't really see how. Yeah, I mean, it's just why? What is the advantage of playing a bot over a human being? It's just, if you're afraid of losing some elo, I can understand, but still it's a bad decision. But let's focus on things that actually work. Let's talk about puzzles now. The puzzles can be really helpful, and each of them have a different utility. For instance, the puzzle rush is useful to actually train I mean, it's the most useful one because there's the time limit, and you have to think under pressure, which is pivotal when you're playing a match. It's like when and then there. Oh, that's really uncanny coming from Apple. Like, I'm actually able to resume a recording. That's really cool. Because I had an alarm set to quit typing, and I'm actually gonna take it right now. because it's getting late and I don't want to. Well, what I was saying. So there is the regular puzzles, which you get a rating for them. I have 1300, and they are interesting and they are helpful because it's good to actually sit down and just think. And the Puzzle Rush, the survival mode, I don't really do it. And then there's the analysis, and then I've learned how to use the analysis because you have to use it with a lot of caution. What I've started to do is I actually analyze my match without any engine, without any bar, and just see what could have done differently. And then I try to figure it out, and then I see the analysis with the engine. And to be honest, most of the times I'm not really sure if it's helpful. Like, it's really not that helpful, to be honest, because the engine is so advanced that, like, even grandmasters don't understand them sometimes, so how am I supposed to understand them? They could try to make an engine for specific, like for the Building Habit series. So, not technically correct, but the ones that are following the rules or that are good. And speaking of building habits, it's also useful to watch the games that Amon plays. It's good to refresh and see a new perspective, and sometimes I'm making a mistake and then I'm okay, I can try to make this thing different, but like the gist I already know, it's just some detail and it's a matter of practice. And because if I start to get tactics right, and I also if I don't blunder, I'm just gonna improve. There's no, I'm gonna increase my rating to 1,000 at least, because that's how I lose most of the games. I just miss a tactic. Obviously, I'm not gonna catch them all, but I'll increase over time. So it is useful to watch that series sometimes. I mean, you can't just watch the series and not play games. You have to play games, and you don't have to focus on following all the rules perfectly. There are some things that I've started to learn that I was doing and they're just not useful. For instance, when you haven't finished developing your pieces and then there's a pawn hanging. Should you take it or should you finish developing your pieces? Well, in my opinion, if it's a central pawn, okay. But if it's like those that are, close to the rook, just on the queen side, it's not worth it. I mean, I can do that afterwards. So it's that theme of focusing on the big fish. as opposed to getting greedy with pawns. And then I can also watch the fun videos, like watching grandma. I mean, one thing that is also interesting, but to me is more entertainment than anything else, is to watch some analysis by on YouTube. Those really like professional matches, I don't really get them, but they're fun to watch. And I'm really looking forward to November with the Magnus versus Nepo. I really wonder who's gonna win. I mean, Magnus is probably gonna win, and I really hope that he does, because I don't like Nepo. He's an asshole. Very childish. But I think I made my point, but above all is when I'm noticing that I'm stressing too much, or I'm focusing on that opening. For instance, Aman started to release a new series called Building Plans, and I just don't think it's the right time for me to watch it. I mean, it's great that he's making it, but I think that it's actually a threat for me to watch it, because then I'll start to think about the Caracan and all that stuff. So that's really not what I'm aiming to do. And the rating is something that I should stop getting worried about. Oh, what if I reach a plateau? What if the game gets boring? I mean, I can find another game. Simple as that. Let's see if I can just get my... Hey, are you watching me? Video window device. Can I remove? Alright, remove. So... Oh, for real? Alright, wow, this is really crappy. So that's the end of my speech. My thoughts. And I'm glad that I'm playing this game, and I'm also I can't see my face because I get distracted. What was I gonna say? So I'm grateful that I'm playing. I mean, I'm just gonna end this live. Okay. I'm grateful that I'm playing chess, and that I had a first contact when I was a kid. I think that's important, because it adds a certain magic to the game, as opposed if I was gonna learn today. Like, it wouldn't be, even though I sucked when I was a kid, like I was really bad. I couldn't win anyone. But I liked it. I thought it was fun and kind of intriguing. So to have this seed, and the fact that I knew the rules, the basic rules, helped, because then I could just focus on learning the principles, which is to control the center, all that sort of thing. So I just lost some recording because I put my earphone. What is the name of that? I always forget. Fone de ouvido. Not headphones. EarPod. Anyways, I was basically just. I mean, I think I expressed myself well in those 25 minutes.